Does it really take 7 years to digest chewing gum? Here on the Matter of Facts channel, we will answer 10 questions you would only ask the doctor if you had a few cocktails. Why does your urine smell when you eat asparagus? The effect of asparagus on urine odor has been observed for centuries. French novelist Marcel Proust famously wrote in 1913 that asparagus transforms my chamber pot into a flask of perfume. Depending on which study you read, between 22% and 50% of the population report having pungent pee after eating asparagus. Researchers believe that during digestion, the vegetable asparagic acid, along with other compounds such as thiols or mercaptans, break down into smelly chemical components in all people. But only about 1/4 of the population appears to have the special gene that allows them to smell those compounds. So, the issue is not whether or not your pee is smelly, it's whether you're able to smell it. Does sugar really make kids hyperactive? Parents with hyperactive children have occasionally blamed their kids' behavior on sugar. This idea that sugar causes hyperactivity in kids stemmed from a popular diet in the 1970s created by pediatrician Dr. Benjamin Feingold. The Feingold diet was an elimination diet that did not permit any artificial coloring or flavoring and any other additives common in processed foods. Feingold believed that these additives contribute to hyperactivity as well as allergy. But in 1995, the Journal of American Medical Association reviewed the various studies on the subject and concluded that sugar does not lead to the hyperactivity in children. Researchers theorized that it could be a parent's belief that sugar causes hyperactivity that inadvertently encourages their kids to become more active after eating sweets. Parents are also on the lookout for hyperactivity after sugar consumption. They might say things to their kids like, "You'll be bouncing off the wall eating all that candy," which spurs on the child's behavior. This effect was demonstrated by a 1994 study published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology. For the study, the researchers told a group of mothers of 5 to 7-year-old boys that their children would receive high doses of sugar. The mothers were then asked to rate their child's behavior. Most of the mothers in the study rated their child's behavior as more being hyperactive, even though half of the children were not given any sugar at all. Do cucumbers relieve puffy eyes? Yes, cold cucumbers can hydrate, reduce swelling, and help provide instant relief to dry, puffy, and tired-looking eyes. Cucumbers are 90% water, and it is the cooling effect of the water that constricts the blood vessels around the eyes, decreasing the swelling. Cucumbers are also high in vitamin C, folic acid, and antioxidants, which can temporarily help with brightening the appearance of the skin. Some of the swollen eye solutions include black tea beds and cold water, the tannic acid contents being the key to reducing the swelling. Hemorrhoid cream also helps to reduce swelling. Does eating chocolate really cause acne? There's good data to suggest that high glycemic index foods rich in refined carbohydrates and sugar are bad for acne-prone skin. These foods cause a spike in blood sugar, which increases the production of insulin and hormones known as androgens, which result in more sebum production, an oily substance secreted by the sebaceous glands. When the glands produce too much sebum, the oil can combine with dead skin cells and become trapped in your pores. This leads to blackheads, whiteheads, and pimples. Eating chocolate candy with sugar and breaking out afterwards can be attributed to sugar and insulin spikes. Although previous research has dodged the link between chocolate and acne, more recent studies show that it may be a contributing factor. In one study, participants were randomly assigned to eat a chocolate bar or 25 jelly beans, both of which provide the same glycemic load, which is the indicator of how high blood sugar will rise after each portion of food. Interestingly, jelly beans did not affect acne, but when people ate chocolate, their pimples did increase. In a 2016 study involving 25 people, researchers investigated whether an ounce of 99% cacao dark chocolate without added sugar or milk would cause acne to worsen in acne-prone males when consumed daily. After 4 weeks, researchers found a statistically significant increase in both blackheads and pimples when compared to baseline. So, can eating chocolate cause an outbreak of acne? The answer is yes. According to Dr. Brian Berman, Emeritus Professor of Dermatology and Cutaneous Surgery at the University of Miami, who conducted a similar study, though his was double-blinded and placebo-controlled. It showed that the ingestion of pure 100% chocolate in the form of a capsule devoid of milk and sugar caused a greater increase than placebos in the number of inflammatory and non-inflammatory acne lesions in young men who had a history of acne but who had no acne lesions at the baseline. In acne studies, women are often excluded because acne can get worse during menstrual cycles, and this can confound results. The bottom line is, we are still waiting for future studies to conclude. Experts say knowing how your own skin reacts to chocolate will give you all the information you need. Does it really take 7 years to digest chewing gum? There's an old saying that you will have 7 years of bad luck if either you break a mirror or swallow gum. So, what is really going on with 7 years? What really happens to gum in your stomach after you swallow it? Gum base is insoluble, just like the fiber base of raw vegetables, corn, popcorn kernels, and seeds. Also, some gum is sweetened with sorbitol that can act as a laxative. Our bodies do not possess digestive enzymes to specifically break down gum base. So instead of hanging around for 7 years, gum simply travels the same path as food and is excreted into stool. An exception to this would be people with gastroparesis or a paralyzed stomach, which can result in the buildup of food in the stomach, but not for 7 years. Why do you cry when you cut onions? The culprit is an enzyme called lacrimatory factor synthase. This enzyme is released into the air when we cut an onion. The enzyme then reacts with the amino acids of the onion, then convert to sulfonic acids. The sulfonic acids spontaneously rearrange to form syn-propanethiol S oxide, which is released into the air. When this chemical reaches the eyes, it triggers the tears by contracting nerve fibers on the cornea that activate the tear glands. Now you are crying. Scientists have tried to make a non-crying onion, but it seems that the crying enzymes are also responsible for the zesty onion flavor. However, there are a group of Japanese plant biochemists that believe that it might be possible to develop a non-lacrimatory onion by suppressing the lacrimatory factor synthase gene by increasing the yield of the thiosulfonate. In the meantime, there are several solutions to try to avoid the problem of onion-induced tears. Heating the onion before chopping, or cutting under a steady stream of water, or wearing goggles. Last would be the most reliable, is to just order out. Have you ever stuffed yourself so much that you felt like you was in a food coma? There are many possibilities as to what causes the classic food coma. Many people report drowsiness after eating the traditional Thanksgiving meal. Turkey is to blame for the soporific effect, specifically the amount of L-tryptophan contained in the turkey. L-tryptophan is an essential amino acid. When consumed with carbohydrate rich foods, like mashed potatoes and stuffing, it easily enters the brain and boosts serotonin levels. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that decreases arousal, so you're likely to feel more relaxed and even lazy when serotonin levels are elevated. Tryptophan and serotonin also play a key role in the production of melatonin in the body. Melatonin is a hormone that helps the body prepare for sleep. Another effect would be changes in the blood flow to the brain. Some health experts say that the postprandial somnolence is caused by a slight shift in blood flow away from the brain to the digestive organ. Eating also activates your parasympathetic nervous system. The PNS regulates certain functions in your body, like slowing the heart rate and regulating blood pressure and digestion. The PNS is triggered when the stomach expands from eating a big meal. As a result of PNS signals, blood flow is directed more to the working digestive organs and less to the brain. This slight blood flow diversion may also make you feel sleepy and tired. Can carrots help improve your vision? The carrot myth dates back to World War II, when the British Royal Air Force was attempting to hide the fact that it had developed a sophisticated airborne radar system to shoot down German bombers. They bragged that the great accuracy of British fighter pilots at night was a result of them being fed enormous quantities of carrots. The body uses beta-carotene to make vitamin A that helps the eye convert light into signals that can be transmitted to the brain, allowing people to see under conditions of low light. Besides, the cornea can literally disappear if the body does not get enough vitamin A. Every year, estimated 250,000 to 500,000 children become blind because of vitamin A deficiency. However, only a small amount of beta-carotene is necessary for good vision. If you are not deficient in vitamin A, your vision will not improve no matter how many carrots you eat. Why does spicy food make your nose run? There's nothing quite like that rush you get when you mistake the wasabi for pistachio ice cream. But this does not lead to nose running. That is because wasabi does not contain capsaicin, the extremely irritating chemical found in jalapeno or habanero peppers. So what causes the burn? Capsicum plants produce capsaicin in their fruit that fends off hungry mammals. Its irritant qualities are so pronounced that pepper spray made from it is more debilitated than tear gas, according to the European Parliament's Scientific and Technological Option Assessment Report. However, capsaicin is the only best known of the spicy food irritants. Another allylisothiocyanate is an oil that lends its kick to radish, horseradish, wasabi, and mustard. Manufacturers also use it as an ingredient in insecticides and fungicides. So, what does all this have to do with your runny nose? Capsaicin and allylisothiocyanate irritates mucous membranes, the lining that protects your lungs and various body openings and cavities from infectious agents such as fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Mucous membranes in your nose produce nasal mucus, better known to children everywhere as snot, which traps allergens, airborne dust, and other undesirables, keeping them out of your respiratory system. The more irritated your nasal membrane become, the more mucus they produce as a defense. Another question we had about spicy food is, does spicy food cause ulcers? For decades, doctors thought eating a lot of spicy food caused stomach ulcers or painful sores on the lining of the esophagus, stomach, or the upper area of the small intestine. It certainly made sense, as patients will often complain about burning stomach pains after eating spicy food. The recommended treatment was a strict diet of bland food, which did not actually get rid of the ulcer pain. But in the 1980s, scientists put this old wives' tale to rest, at least in the medical community. Still, a lot of people believe this one. Most stomach ulcers are caused either by infection from a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori or by overuse of anti-inflammatory pain medication such as aspirin or ibuprofen. The ulcers caused by bacteria can be treated with antibiotics and other treatments such as cranberry juice. Compounds in cranberry juice help prevent bacteria from sticking to the cell lining and urinary tract. It also helps prevent H. pylori from sticking to the lining of the stomach. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the Matter of Facts channel for future videos on interesting and awesome facts.